Alright, this is one of my problem rifles right here. It's a Landor Arms 12 gauge Bullpup, and I've been having a number of issues with it. Today, I got 9 rounds of this Challenger ammo left, which hasn't cycled through it well, but I need to get rid of the last 9 rounds, so we're going to try it out in a 10 round mag. Drop out this 2 round mag. Put that guy in there. One thing I've been having problems with is this thing comes out while I'm shooting, so I'm just going to take it out now. The other thing I have a problem with is the charging handle here flies out every now and then. Doesn't stay latched. Don't know what's up with that. Hold on. Get this, put it in my pocket. Alright, so I really don't have a target down there. I have my other camera set up right here. I'm going to get it right kind of in front. I want to see, I got it on high speed. I want to see if it captures this charging handle moving out while I'm shooting. I'm just going to rapidly unload it. Alright, here we go. Look at that. Sure diff did. This thing has been an issue since I picked it up. Well, look at that shell. I'll get it back here in a second. Here we go. Get that up a little bit more. See if I can get it. All right. Whew. This ammo might not be enough to cycle it, but I don't like that charging handle flying back at your face. It definitely isn't locking it back. See what I'm talking about? I think every shot it came out. And if you look at it, I'm pulling on it pretty hard. And for it to come out, something's got to be pressing that. I don't get it. We're going to try some buckshot though. After I wipe the sweat off my face. Hello and welcome back to Citizen Pew. This is Citizen Pew Commentary, and in the video you just saw, we're going to be talking about that. This Landor Arms Bullpup, which is the BPX902, and this is a Gen 2 version of it. So, yep, it's one of my problem pieces right now, and I'm totally fed up with it. But anyhow, hopefully this video will help some of you out. Maybe you have some ideas that can help me out, and you know, I can turn this firearm into a useful product. Anyhow, Before we get started, let me thank all my subscribers. Thank you for watching this video. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. If you like the channel, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not sure, watch a few more videos if you'd like. And then if you like the channel, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. All right, going forward, as you saw in the video, there's a few issues I have with this. And one of them is this charging lever right here, which does not stay in. After about 2 or 3 shots, it's on the ground somewhere. So it's pretty much useless to me. And I don't know if it just didn't get built to spec. You can see there's a little lip on it, right? That's what it guides it into the groove on this thing. But there is no, on the back side, there's a divot for like a little ball bearing or something on a spring. There is no ball bearing on this thing, so it's just relying on tension to hold it in, and it doesn't have enough. So that's my first beef with it. But that's not that big of a deal to me, honestly, because it does have this AR charging handle on it. Now, as you saw in the video, or you might not have noticed it, this charging handle popped out a few times when I shot those weaker shotgun shell rounds. And don't worry about the cycling. Those things were nowhere near powerful enough to cycle this thing. But I got some footage here I'm going to show you in a second, shooting some double op, or I'm sorry, yeah, I think it's some double op buck, and it cycles this thing really well. But the problem is nearly every shot the charging handle comes flying all the way back and then gets sucked back in when it loads the next round, and that won't do. That's why I have this rest up here, even though with the rest all the way up, the iron sights I have on here aren't, you can't even really use them. I can barely see through there. I'd rather have the rest down, but I'm not going to put the rest down with the chance of this coming over and breaking my nose. So anyhow, I'm going to kind of tell you what I think is going on with this, and then I'll show you that other footage, and then after that other footage I will have this broke down and I'll show you the internals and kind of what I'm seeing. And like I said, maybe you've had this issue, maybe not, but I'd be interested at this point getting some feedback, seeing what people have seen. So, all right. So, where am I going to start? I guess, so one thing I think is for sure is you can see this here. If I pull this charging handle out, you can see where the latch is. I'll get a good angle on it. And if you can't tell, that's actually 2 different types of material. So I got a magnet here to show you. The housing here is aluminum. And so I have a magnet. It doesn't stick, just falling all over the place. But right here, pull that iron side out, where the charging handle latches, that is steel. So they knew that there was a lot of force being put on this charging handle, and that aluminum lock wouldn't work. So they had cut that out, and this steel piece is put in, and it's got a little Allen screw that holds it in place. And that is actually what this thing is latching to, is a steel insert. So that had me questioning the integrity of this whole thing when the charging handle started blowing back. And I tell you what, I've put a lot of force on this thing. I cannot pull it back. I can't. There's just nothing. I've had it on the ground, both hands on it, trying to pull it back. That thing's going to hold. So it's not a matter of this thing getting blown back and just forcing this handle off of this. No. So the next thing I was trying to figure out was somehow something had to be blowing this thing off, or whatever. It had to be popping the lever somehow. And I didn't know if it was vibrations or something like that. And there is something that I'll show you after I do this next clip, when I have it apart, that I thought maybe was catching this thing and giving it enough of a jerk that it would pop it loose. Well, I didn't do anything to the firearm itself, but I did change the profile of the charging handle, or the charging lever, a little bit to try to test that theory, and that didn't solve it. And then the last thing I did was I'm guessing, or my guess was that too much pressure was building up in here, and some of that exhaust was pushing on the handle and causing it to shake apart, or shake really bad and wiggle it loose in that short period of time. So I made some modifications to let pressure vent through, and what actually happened was that it happened worse. And so what I started then looking at was I know this is going really fast. Excuse me. What I started seeing that gas is actually coming down the sides, both sides of the charging handle here, and there is a gas pressure that's popping or blowing out here. And so when I had this apart and cleaned it, I took a Q-tip to see how much was on this little latch mechanism here with the charging handle out, and it was filthy. So what I'm guessing is that it's actually, there's not enough gas dissipation inside of here. Not, any exhaust that doesn't go out the barrel is coming back in here somewhere, and because there is no holes anywhere on this back side of it, it's got to escape somewhere. It's either going to escape out the discharge port, or it's going to come up into the top section here and try to go out the front and the back. And if enough of it's coming out the back, it's going to blow this thing over and pull it out. That's the best I can think. That's where I'm at. So I'll tell you what, let me show you this other clip, and then and I got it broke down in slow motion with 2 different cameras. So you'll see the footage, you'll see a couple bits of the footage twice, once in high speed or regular speed, and then once in slow motion, so you can get it, so you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'll come back and I'll go through the internals of this a little bit. See if we can capture some more. I'm trying this Wolf power buckshot right here, and I only am using a 5-round mag this time, so that's what it looks like. See what happens. Alright, so there you go. There's the footage I have of some double-aught buck, and yeah, it cycles it fine, perfectly. The only problem is that charging handle's flying out. Now, I don't know if you saw it on that last one, which had the flame coming out of it. On the one angle of it, the angle that was looking from the shell extractor side, there was a bit of flame coming out of the front too, and that I think was coming right out of here from that heavy round, right at these front ends here. So this is your barrel with your gas system right here, right? So there's your buffer, or your your baffle that blows this back and gets it to cycle. Now the charging handle right here, which mine's shiny on this side, because one thing I found was it was so long that what I found was, because of the slop, the charging handle, this buffer or baffle, this baffle could actually catch the edge of it. Oh, I'm probably not showing it real well. Here we go. It could actually catch the edge of it, and I thought maybe it was catching the edge of it and giving it enough of a kick to pop it out. Well, that turned out not being the problem. So the next thing I thought was just maybe the pressure was so high in there that it was, when this came down and all this had to exhaust, which exhausts right behind where there's ports. So all these, what look like there should be cutouts, all those that aren't cut out, that's where all the gas is expanding and stuff. So I thought then maybe the gas pressure is building up too high there, and I need to, relieve it. And so what I did was I just put some grooves on either side of the charging handle to see if it could just pass a little bit of gas so maybe the charging handle wouldn't have so much gas right on the edge of it. And that actually did let more gas by, and the handle started popping out more frequently. So I think that's what the problem is ultimately, is that gas in this back end of the shroud here it doesn't dissipate fast enough. So we're not getting enough gas coming back and forward, and it's building up right where the baffle comes out, and it just, you know, tries to go in all directions, and if it goes forward, it's got all these vents, but any gas that goes back, it's stuck in there, and so it's just going to keep going back. And what I think that's doing is it's going back. Well, let me set this down. It's going back and coming out this port right here that the charging handle hooks into, and there's enough of it that it actually pushes the spring back just enough. Let's see if I can get a good angle. I can't. Pushes the spring, anyhow, it pushes on the hook part of the lever here just enough, because it only needs to go about that far to pop it out. And the spring is not very strong, to be honest. It's a very light spring. So my next, I think my next effort's going to be is to put a more powerful spring on this to see if that holds it in. I really don't want to start drilling holes into the shroud here, but you know, I might have to open a couple of these up to exhaust it so it doesn't blow that charging handle back. So I don't know. Anyhow, hopefully that's pretty clear of what I've gone through and what I've done to try to troubleshoot this issue. If you have this firearm and you've had the same issue, let me know. I've seen, I searched YouTube, I searched the internet for this same problem, and I did see a couple people who had some videos where they did have their charging handles coming back every now and then, and I did see some forums where people talked about it too, but nobody was really addressing what's going on and why. And for me, I want to know exactly what was going on. So that's the process that I've been going through. That's where I'm at. Like I said, I think my next step, where did I put it? I think my next step is going to be to knock the pin out of this charging handle and get the dimensions of that spring, get a more powerful spring and put it in here and see if that holds it in. If it doesn't, then I think I'm going to have to resort to putting some ports on here to relieve that pressure, because I really think that's what it is now, is pressure buildup in this shroud and not enough disbursement of that pressure from the front end to stop the gas from coming out the back end right here where this is. So I got a few more tests I'm going to do. So before I actually go through with that, one of them is I'm going to put some type of cloth draped over this and just see if I'm picking up the debris from the shells and stuff like that and the gas and all that. See if I'm collecting it onto that cloth, like something like a white cloth or something like that. So I will be doing an updated video on this when I do figure it out. So until then, I'll be looking at your comments. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you think this information is useful before you buy this firearm, by all means, please leave a comment, say thank you. Or if you have this firearm and you've had this issue, let me know what you found. And if you don't, if you do have this firearm and you've never had this issue, let me know what you think my problem may be, because I don't know, I might have just got the Friday end of shift special or something. I don't know. So, all right, well, that's all I have for you. Have a good day.